restaurant during the
Everyone here,
classes.
Chief? Oh,
Teacher, I think it's a real cafe.
yeah.
I've
Wow.
asked, I've asked her many a times to get me a drink, but she never does.
It looked like a restaurant.
Dạ, con đang ở quán cà phê I'm at the coffee shop.
Oh, what did
I'm
you do
going to
there?
eat here too.
You on holiday?
No, I'm at Saigon Tourist University.
Huh? University with mom?
And my sister.
Oh,
Hi,
excellent.
Zoe.
Thầy chào kìa, đưa cái mặt vô coi. Cái gì vậy?
Okay.
She don't want to be seen. She is shy.
I don't remember her being shy in class.
Pokemon ball.
Okay. Have fun, everyone.
I have a
I'm
stamp.
We always do.
leaving. So how many today? 8, yeah?
Teacher Michael.
Looks like 7.
Oh.
Look at my drawing.
So do you have enough member?
Very nice. Yeah, so if anybody's not here, they can just watch the recording to catch up on this lesson. Okay.
Michael?
Yes.
I wonder if you want to let them do the debate, the class debate on Saturday, so that, or evening class, just for this week, so that all of the member.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so because you guys are in class today, I'll give you the choice. I'll type a message and I just want everybody to reply to it and we'll work out when will be the best time.
We will vote.
Okay. So you open for any time on Saturday for them to do the final debate before the real debate on Sunday, yeah?
Yeah. I'll give them the option and then I'll let them answer and then we'll work out when to reschedule the debate for.
Okay. So I may ask the parent because the parent probably know the kid schedule more than them.
Oh, no, fair enough then. Yeah, give them the choice to either do it on Friday evening, say around 5 or 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Or if they prefer to do it on Saturday, say.
So this week you okay for evening? This Friday you okay for evening? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll wait. Oh no, sorry, you're right. It'll have to be on Saturday. Sorry, it'll have to be on Saturday.
So this Saturday you're available. So let them choose anytime this Saturday. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
So did you want me to ask the kids or would you?
No, ask the
check
parent.
with the parents? Yeah.
The parent will have, you better ask the parent. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I let them vote for the parent. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Duke. I'll send that message to the Zalo group for the parents.
Who put your name, Mr. Archer, the donut?
That's me.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Lucia, what happened?
Teacher.
Yeah.
Can you only make it the Friday because Saturday I'm busy. From 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. I have a class.
Well, on Saturday we would do the debate earlier on in the day.
When?
So we would probably do the debate sometime around 11 a.m. to 12. So
Okay.
it would be early on in the day. So it
Okay,
wouldn't,
that's
it
okay.
wouldn't
Saturday, right?
conflict with the class.
Teacher,
Yes,
Saturday, right?
you're
Saturday
correct.
from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Well, that's the proposed time, but I'll send a message to all of your parents in the Zalo group and let them know what's happening. And
Okay.
then we will confirm that time. Okay, so let me just start out today by saying that you have all been doing a fantastic job with your arguments and your research and your evidence. It's all coming along very, very well. Let me begin by saying that. But today and this week, I'm going to be talking about and introducing you to the last two parts of a debate that we haven't really spoken about yet, to prepare you for this weekend's public debate. So the first one I would like to discuss is called a reply speech. So let me bring up, excuse me, I think I ate my breakfast too quickly, got hiccups. So let me just bring up my whiteboard here. And explain, and we'll just go through again the structure of a debate. So we know at the beginning of the debate, the moderator will introduce the topic, the teams, and the debaters. Oh, the topic, the teams. There we go. Then after that, the moderator will read out the rules of the debate to check the debaters' understanding. So that's the part where we'll usually have the rules read out, and then we'll ask, does everybody understand the rules as they've been read? And if you do, everybody just says yes. If you don't, then someone says no, and they can ask for clarification, and the moderator will explain the rules a bit differently so everybody understands. Then we have the first proposition speaker makes their arguments. Makes their arguments. Now, so we're going to go over this part on Wednesday with the second opposition speaker. Sorry, with the question and answer session.
Chúng ta tập trung vậy con. Đó.
Okay, now, so this is the part that I want to focus on today, is steps 10 and 11. So we see here our standard debate structure here. So first proposition speaker, first opposition speaker, second prop, second op. Then we've got the question and answer session. So like I say, we'll cover that on Wednesday. Then, of course, we have the third proposition speaker and the third opposition speaker summarizing their team's case, making their final rebuttals. But the part that we haven't really discussed before is the reply speech. So as you'll notice, the first interesting thing about the reply speeches is that it breaks the order of the debate. So we've always gone proposition first, opposition second. But for the reply speeches, the opposition team actually gets the chance to speak first in this reply speech part of the debate. And that's the reason why only the first or the second speaker of the team can make the reply speeches. And the reason for that is because it's against the rules of the debate for one speaker from the same team to go twice in a row. So we've occasionally made exceptions to that rule in our class debates where someone might have been absent or unable to attend. So somebody else from the team has filled in to take their place. But in a real official debate, no speaker can speak twice in a row. So we've got the opposition speaker going first and then the proposition speaker going last. So the next thing you'll notice is that the opposition speaker So you'll notice here that the opposition team then gets to speak for the very first time in the debate and the very last time in the debate. Yes, Emma.
Sao bà không kết nối đây? Kết nối
You mean are we the opposition or the proposition?
So I'm going to give you your team allocations today.
Ủa hôm bữa bà học cái này được không?
So the first thing I'll do after class today is I'm going to send you your teams. So you'll have until Saturday to work on the debate. Okay, so we'll notice here that the proposition speaker now becomes the first team and the last team to speak in the debate. And if we remember going through the structure of those speeches, I think it was last week, we had the burden of proof for the proposition team. So the proposition team wins when they convince you that the motion is correct. But the opposition team, they don't win if they prove that the motion is wrong. They win when they prove the proposition team wrong. So because of this, we also give the proposition team the first and the last chance to speak, just to make their case, because it is actually harder to prove something right than it is to prove something wrong. So we just give them that little bit as the first and the last team to speak. So does that make sense to everybody so far?
Yeah.
Yes.
Terrific. Excelente. Amazingness. Okay, so let's now have a look at the structure and an example of a reply speech. So we'll start with the opposition team first. So you'll see some similarities. So some things kind of the same as the third speaker in a reply speech, but they are different. So that is important to notice. So first of all, a reply speech will generally go from anywhere between 2 to 4 minutes, depending on the debate. So some debate societies will let their reply speeches go a bit longer, say 3 or 4 minutes. Some debating societies will make them a shorter speech, so only 2 minutes. But here are the general things that we want to look for in a reply speech. So first, of course, we want the introduction. So we want to briefly restate the motion of the topic, of course, always remembering with the signposting, always letting the audience and the judges know what we're talking about, which part of the speech we're up to. Keep it so simple that nobody can get confused about what you're talking about. We need to acknowledge the arguments made by the proposition. So each team will need to, so obviously when we have a debate, we can't just say, nah, that team's wrong. Like they've made some really stupid points. I can't believe you're even listening to them. We're obviously so right. You can't talk like that in a debate. Because remember, it's a very formal.
Because it's not respectful to the other person on the other team.
Very good, Emma. It's not respectful, and we need to be respectful in a debate. I'll talk about that a bit later. But yeah, so it's always good to acknowledge them. So we're not saying that they're wrong, they're dumb, they're stupid. We're saying they've raised some good arguments, but they haven't thought about their case all the way through. And here's where they're wrong. So they've raised a good argument, but here's where they're wrong. That's always the important way to go about a debate. And then, of course, we want to state the purpose of the reply.
So you mean that's the more respectful way than saying he's wrong? That's a stupid argument.
Correct. Yeah. So by saying that's a stupid argument or that's a dumb thing to say, that's a very disrespectful way to speak during a debate. But if you say they've clearly thought about their arguments a lot and it shows in how they've presented them, but in our team's opinion, they haven't met the burden of proof, or they haven't thought about the argument from this perspective, and the arguments that we've presented, we find kind of cancel out their arguments. So, like always try and find the most respectful way possible to say that they're wrong. You never just want to be like, they're wrong, which is very rude. And finally, we want to state the purpose of the reply
If you
speech.
say something
Now,
like
the
that,
reply speech.
you mean I think the judges will only give you a 1 for that, saying that on stage.
Correct. So yes, so if the judges find you to be rude or disrespectful with how you make your argument, you will definitely lose points in, I think that would be classed as the presentation and style category. So if you're nice and respectful and polite and you present your speech well, you get very high marks for that. But if you're rude and disrespectful, even if you deliver like a Leonardo DiCaprio style of debate speech, your acting is that good, but you're rude and disrespectful, then yeah, you'll still lose points and get a low mark in that area. Yeah. So the purpose of the reply speech is similar to the third speaker, except you want to summarize the entire debate. So the third speaker summarizes all of the arguments that you've made and just tries to prove how the arguments made by the other team were not as good as yours. Your argument's better. But the reply speech summarizes the whole debate, the whole case made. So there's just a little bit more encompassed in that, and we'll see that during the example. So next up, we want to do a summary of the main points. So summarize your team's key arguments and how they have been supported during the debate. So this is your chance just to re-mention again all of your arguments and re-mention the evidence that you presented. So you might talk about how you found this study, you're doing your research, and you came across this study, you read it, and you just thought it supported your arguments really well. And then you want to highlight the strongest points made in favor of your stance. So while you can present many arguments in a debate, some arguments are going to be better than others. So some arguments will just be so much stronger for your case than others will. So this is your chance to really point those out, make your strongest case possible. Good, Chips. Then we go on to the refutation. So the refutation, of course, means to prove wrong or disagree. So you want to identify the main arguments made by the proposition team. So what were, in your opinion, the best parts about their case? Which arguments did they make that made you think, ooh, that's a good one? And then the next thing you do is you want to prove those arguments wrong by using evidence and logical reasoning. So if you can find evidence, also because you have to pre-prepare this, you'll need to kind of find a whole lot of evidence in advance. But you want to prove them wrong using evidence you found, or you want to use logical reasoning. So if you can draw a line from their case or from their argument to how their argument is wrong. So maybe that might be one of your arguments directly proves one of their arguments wrong. So if you can draw a line from that and say, well, they've said this, but we've said this, and if you follow it back, like our arguments suggest that what they've said is incorrect evidence, or that was proved wrong in a later scientific study, or whatever the case may be. Just find a way to prove their argument wrong. And then finally, we've talked about this a fair bit during class. We want to emphasize or draw attention to any inconsistencies or weaknesses. So anything that doesn't quite make sense, or anything that you feel the other team has had to kind of twist a little bit to make the facts agree with them, and find any weaknesses in their case. And you really want to bring attention to that so that you can have the judges and the audience thinking, yeah, you were right. Yeah, like they did that doesn't make sense. Why are they saying that? Yes, Emma.
What if you don't be respect to the other team? It's that you will get low points, and if you will be respected, then say not this restful word, and they will give you like more points, right?
How did I mute myself? I didn't even press the button. So yes, it is always better to be respectful. And that is where the importance of formal English can come into it. So it's actually quite funny in a way when you understand formal English, because informal English, like people can use swear words, people can, say really insulting things like "you're dumb," "that's stupid," like "you're an idiot," stuff like that. But formal
Like,
English, you can
or
say
like you
very,
say that the other person's argument is really dumb. It's not like mine. It's not very good. It's stupid. Something goes wrong.
yeah, like so saying it like that would be very, like that'd be very disrespectful. That you'd lose a lot of points for that. But if you can find a way in formal English to say basically the same thing, it actually sounds incredibly respectful, even though you are finding ways to say that's not really a smart argument, but it's the words that you've used, it still sounds respectful. Yeah, like formal English really is like an incredible part of the language. You can find ways to say things like the other team is wrong. Hello. You can find ways to say the other team is wrong, or that they've that not that they're stupid or that they're dumb. That's still a bad thing to say, but you can find ways to say that they're wrong, and it just sounds like the most majestic thing you've ever said. It's really an incredible part of the language. And finally, we want to finish with the conclusion. So summarize the key points of the debate, emphasize why your team's position is the more persuasive one. So why are your arguments better? Now you're giving your reasons, and you want to end with a compelling final statement. So we've got here we've got here just a short example of a reply speech for the opposition team. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've heard strong arguments on both sides of the motion. This House believes that schools should abolish homework. So even in that opening statement, we're still being respectful. We've heard strong arguments on both sides of the motion. We're admitting that both sides have made good points. I will now summarize our opposition stance and refute the key points raised by the proposition. So then we move on to our next point, or the summary of main points. Our team has argued that homework reinforces classroom learning, fosters responsibility, and can be a valuable tool for teachers to gauge understanding. We've supported these points with research and real-world examples. So then you would go on to expand on that and just list off some of the evidence again, remind them how you've supported those arguments. An example of the refutation. The proposition argues that homework leads to stress and doesn't contribute to real learning. However, we believe this overlooks the value of structured practice and the ability to tailor homework to individual needs, rather than eliminating it altogether. So you've pointed out that the proposition team have come up with some reasons why homework should be abolished, why it should be cancelled. But then you've gone on to say, we believe this overlooks the value of structured learning, of structured practice. So you're pointing out reasons why homework is a good idea, and the ability to tailor homework to individual needs. So not everyone needs to do the same homework. You can give people their own special homework to help them learn the best. And then we go on to say, their case falls short in considering how homework, when used effectively, benefits students. So we're trying to point out all the good reasons for homework. Can't believe I'd be making an argument like that. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so we're pointing out here that when homework is used correctly, it can really help students. So it does have benefits. So we're pointing out the reasons why their case is wrong. And then we move on to the conclusion. In closing, the debate today has been engaging, but the evidence and reasons support maintaining homework as an essential education tool. So again, we've made a respectful comment here about how the debate has been very interesting. Both sides have engaged in some good debating, some good arguments being made. But then we've gone on to say the evidence supports our side of the debate. The evidence and reason support maintaining homework because it's important. So rather than abolishing it, we should focus on improving how it's assigned and used to ensure it serves its purpose. Thank you. So we've just finished off there with a nice strong statement. And in this debate topic, they've said, don't cancel it. Like, we kind of agree with you. So, you know, like homework at the moment may not necessarily be the best thing for students in its current form. But rather than getting rid of it altogether, we should find a better way to use homework. So we're just trying to find a way to make everybody doubt the absolute stance of the proposition. Does that make sense?
Yes, I understand it.
Beautiful. I just like to check because sometimes I worry that I get a little bit too into the explanations of things, but it's good that you're understanding me. So we see there just the rough outline of the rough outline of the reply speech. 4 simple parts: the introduction, summary of our team's main points, the refutation of the opposing team, and then a concluding statement. So all of this we should roughly aim for somewhere between 2 to 4 minutes. I think on Sunday, the reply speeches will be just 2 minutes. So you won't need a big long one, just a 2-minute speech.
It would be quite short. But will you pick students? And because in the Zalo group, I said that I saw that you typed that you would choose 3 of the best student in your class. It was like you said arguing with Stella's class, right?
Correct. Yeah. So it'll be Team Happy Land versus Team Stella on Sunday. So when we have the debate. When we
you
have
want to make it Sunday or Saturday?
Hey teacher, do you mean Team Happy Land vs Team Stella?
Yes. So on Thursday, Team Stella's gonna have their class debate. So it'll be the 2 teams in Stella's class. They'll debate against each other. And then out of that, as I score everybody, the 3 debaters that get the highest score in that class, it doesn't matter what team they're on, the 3 debaters that get the highest score in that class will form the team for the public debate when they debate against you guys. And then on Saturday, the 3 best debaters from your class debate, doesn't matter what team you're on, you guys will form the team for your class. And then their best 3 will debate against your best 3.
Wait, teacher, is Stella's class your other class?
Yes. So
Okay.
they will be getting these same lessons this week about the reply speech.
Do you mean we'll have our debate on Sunday?
Yes. So you guys will have your class debate with the 2 teams from this class Saturday.
I need a day off Sunday.
The debate will only go for 1 hour, then you can have the rest of the day off.
What?
So, but yeah, so once you guys have debated against each other as a class, once the team is selected, like the whole class should come together on just for a little part of Saturday, just to help the 3 on the debate team.
Teacher,
the
what will
class
the
together.
winner get?
So the winners of the class debate, your prize is you get to compete in, well, the 3 best debaters, your prize is you get to compete in the class.
NCSN champion.
So this is just like a public round to show the greater NCSN community.
What do
about-
you said about public?
So this debate on Sunday, when this class's team versus Stella's class's team. So that will be a public debate. That will be live streamed on YouTube, and all of the
It will not be a practice debate anymore. It will be a real debate.
It'll be a real debate, yeah. So the rules will be a bit stricter and more strictly enforced. And yes, you'll be expected to really put in as much effort as you can and perform the absolute
Do
best.
you also need to chin flat on the floor?
Yes, so everything that we've discussed, so your posture, working on how you present your argument, so your speed, your tone, everything like that, you want to bring your best possible effort to the debate.
The best as ever.
That's right, because the
Or
winning
best
team,
than before.
that's right, because the winning team will actually, I need to confirm this with Ms. Duck, but we've discussed the possibility of there being a little bit of prize money for the winning team. So you might actually be competing for a prize on Sunday.
Well, but you're about millions of miles away from me.
I know, but
Teacher Archer,
yes.
I have a great idea in the chat box.
What am I looking at in the chat box?
Wait,
I don't know what she's
Okay,
don't know what she's-
anyway, so we've been through the
Michael,
reply
I'm going
speech
to
for
send
the
this picture to
opposition team.
everybody. Hey, Teacher Michael, I'm going to send this picture to everybody. Wait, just
Okay.
you will just look a little funny. Anyone who would look at it can go into the chat box to look at it. Wait, 3, 2, 1. Okay, send.
What? Teacher, look in the chat box. It's a picture of you. So funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Lucia, maybe you should be the donut because you're silly.
My ID is in the chat box.
Oh, bless you guys. Okay, so let's have a look at the reply speech from the other team, from the proposition team. So we have all of the same parts of the structure. So the introduction.
Aren't you having another class today?
No, you're my only class today. I have Stella's class on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Oh, okay.
So, just to go over the summary just over this reply speech structure again. We've got the introduction. So we're going to briefly restate the motion, acknowledge what has been said by the previous speakers, and let everybody know the purpose of your reply speech. So you're going to summarize your team's main arguments, and how they've been addressed during the debate, and highlight the most crucial points that have been made in favor by your team.
Everyone's going crazy.
I noticed. Again, we want to have a refutation. So identify the main arguments made by your opposing team. Refute
Everyone's
the
really
arguments with
going
evidence or
crazy,
logic.
Teacher.
Pardon?
Everyone's Lucia's going crazy. Why is she? No.
I don't know, but Jenny's going, no, 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 no.
What are they doing?
I don't know. I think they're saying no to wanting to take a class picture.
Why do we
Okay.
even have to take a class
Yes.
picture?
No,
It-
it's
it-
no.
It would be a nice thing to do, I think. Anyway, enough
It will be
Lucia.
the teacher's choice, not your choice.
Well, you are allowed to say no. I can't force you to take a picture. Anyway, so we then go on to our refutation. So again, identifying the main arguments made by the opposing team. And we want to prove those arguments wrong with evidence or logic. And then we want to point out any contradictions or weaknesses in the case that they've made. And then we have our conclusion here. Summarize the key points of the debate. Emphasize why your team's position is the strongest, and make a compelling final statement to persuade the audience to believe you. So
Okay.
let's have a look at an example speech from the proposition team for their reply speech. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The motion before us today, this House believes that schools should abolish homework, has brought forward some insightful arguments from both sides. So again, being respectful, saying that
Lucia, why?
both sides,
No.
saying that both sides have made good arguments. We then go on to say, I would like to summarize our stance and address some critical points. So now we're going to address all of the important points. Our team has shown that homework can lead to unnecessary stress, limit family time, and often does not contribute to real learning. We have provided evidence that alternative learning methods can be more effective. So the stance that they've made is that we should change the learning model to abolish homework. And that they've proved with evidence. We then go on to the refutation. So, however, the opposition claims that homework teaches responsibility and reinforces classroom learning. While this may be true in some cases, we have demonstrated that these benefits are often outweighed by the negative impacts, especially when homework is excessive or not thoughtfully assigned. So here we've had, let me go through that again. So they've mentioned the arguments made by the opposition team. Goodness. So we've mentioned the arguments brought up by the opposition team. And then we've said it's true in some cases, like they're not always wrong, but we've shown beyond reasonable doubt that the benefits, that there's often more bad than good in assigning homework. So especially when we're given too much homework, or it's just given out for the sake of being given out. And then in conclusion, I think I need to go for a nap too. In conclusion, the evidence and arguments presented today.
Right in the middle of class.
I know, I'm going to have my nap right now. Good night, everybody.
Okay, good night. I'm leaving now.
No. So, in conclusion, the evidence and arguments, goodness gracious.
Teacher, when you say goodnight, everybody, is that a joke? Well, This is not night yet to say good night, you porcupine.
I'm a porcupine.
Yeah.
Teacher, I think we are debating in the chat box that should we take a picture or not.
Well, it's very good that you've turned to having a debate rather than just rampantly disagreeing with each other. That's good to see. Although
Why,
Although the
teacher,
opposition and the proposition
why are you yawning?
all just seem to be saying yes, 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 no, 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 yes, 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 no, 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 yes, 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 no, 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 no. So
Porcupine.
it's a very interesting style of debate. Anyway, with this oh goodness.
Teacher, why are you yawning?
My best guess is that I forget to breathe when I talk too much. So I
So
get
that's
a
why
lot
you
of carbon
yawn.
dioxide trapped in my lungs. I just try and yawn it all out. Anyway, in conclusion, the evidence and arguments presented today clearly show that the drawbacks of homework outweigh the benefits. We must prioritize the well-being and real learning experiences of our children over traditional practices that may not serve them best. Thank you. So, as we say, good night.
You're still
I
yawning.
don't know why I'm yawning so much.
Teacher, look in the chat. Did you see what David gave you a name?
Mr. Archer the mud pie, hang on.
Hey, wait for me. Wait for me. I'm going to send something into the chat box too. But you can wait for a minute because I'm gonna finish this first.
Lucia is sounding like a blah 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 blah. Lucia is sounding like what is I don't know what she's saying. Oh. David the Pumpkin.
Yeah, I'll come up with a nickname back. Okay, so, and have a look down the bottom here.
Oh, I know, Jenny the emoji face.
Now,
So having a look down the bottom here.
everyone, bow down. Never mind, teacher Michael, bow down to his name.
Anyway, guys, just have a look down the bottom of this
I have a
document here.
perfect name
No,
for
no, no,
Lucia.
Remember that, guys,
Don't do
guys,
it, Jen.
quiet. Pass it.
Teacher, look what Lucia the Sunday said. She said that Mr. Archer poop.
I have a brilliant name for Lucia.
Lucia the poop that has been flushed after under the kid poop you out and reversed
Then I'll give you
as
another
a
sick
street
name.
day that
Guys,
Paris and the
let's
people-
focus. We've got a few minutes left of class and then we can joke around and you can go play your Bluecut game. So
Okay,
down the
but
bottom here,
at the end, I'm gonna tell you a name that I came up for Jenny.
okay, you can give me the name after I've said this. So remember, the reply speech is an opportunity to reinforce your team's argument and dismantle the opposition's case. So it should be concise and focused on the most critical points. So we really want to be focusing on the most important points of our opponent's case. So we do need to be listening. We do need to be listening during the speeches and taking notes about everything our opponents say so we can form our reply speech. Because remember, all of our rebuttals and all of our reply speeches, they need to come from the arguments that the other team has actually made. So we need to be paying attention, taking notes, and thinking of things to say back. And this is why doing lots of extra research about your opponent's side of the case before the debate can be very handy. Because if you go into that debate knowing lots and lots, all of these rebuttals are going to be a lot easier to make. All right, Emma, what's the clever name that you came up with for me?
I said I came up for you. It's Mr. Archer, the emoji face with a sushi on his head.
Oh, goodness.
Or a
Okay.
fried shrimp.
Mr. Archer, the fried shrimp.
I like fried shrimp.
I don't actually eat seafood at all.
Chef, then I will give
You should
your
try it.
nickname, Chef.
Well, I bought a fried. I bought
Hey,
a
come
shrimp,
on.
and then it was like I put it in some flour of what flour I
Chef,
buy
I
at
give
the
you a
supermarket.
nickname,
I can make
That
my
does
fried
sound
shrimp
good.
We are
Anyway,
going to
guys,
stay here.
delicious.
before we finish today,
Hey everyone, look into the
I'll
chat
send
box.
you
I
a
just said
real picture of
David, that is so horribly racist. You cannot say things like that, my friend.
Look at this.
I'll send you a real picture of the fried shrimp. And
Anyway, so guys, before we finish up today, okay, so does everybody understand what the purpose and the structure of a reply speech is?
Yes.
Excellent. So
why
during
is
your class
everybody
debate,
saying class? Why is
Wait,
everybody
don't
saying
edit,
yes
don't
to
use
everything you ask if they understand it?
okay, I just have to check because if you don't understand, oh, tempura prawns.
Now
I have sent
So,
the game menu.
wait.
So I do need to always check that you understand these things because some of them are quite complex. So if you don't understand something, you do need to tell me. Anyway, that's everything for today. The reply speeches on Wednesday, we will go over the...
I have sent the game menu.
On Wednesday, we're going
I
to go
think
over
you're
the
yawning.
question and answer session. So on Wednesday, we're going to go over the question and answer session. Make
How
sure
about
you're
Roblox?
prepared for that.
Yes, I like Roblox.
Okay.
So that's really everything we needed to cover today. Make sure that you make sure that you
Look at that picture.
goodness.
I'm looking quite suspicious.
let
I
me
don't
demonstrate. Let
I
me
don't know if everybody understands. What is this?
Sharing
P Teacher, can you please look in the chat and see what Lucia
I still haven't finished class yet. So the last thing I'll say, and then I'll unblock you or I'll unmute you all and you can go about whatever it is you're going to do. But make sure that you pick somebody on your team. So I'll send out the team shortly. I'll pick somebody so that you can, I'll give you the teams, but make sure you pick either the first or second speaker to deliver your reply speech. Remember any rebuttals you need to give, and you will need to give rebuttals, and the reply speech, you need to be paying attention to what the other team is saying so you can take notes. So yeah, you need to be paying attention to take notes, and yeah, just put in as much effort as you can. And I look forward to judging your debates on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, now I have finished speaking. So I'm about to remute you, but I've given you the option to unmute yourself, so you can unmute now.
Let's stay in the meeting.
Okay, well, I don't have any other classes today, so you guys are welcome to stay in the meeting.
What are you opening, Chips?
Lucia, let's
So, yeah.
play Liftopia.
I'm gonna send your debate
Let's play
teams.
Liftopia.
I'm gonna send your debate teams in the Zalo group now. So, or in a couple of minutes. So keep an eye out for that. Get to work with building your cases. And other than that, I'll see you all on Wednesday. Have a great day, guys.
Why I am not free on
Teacher,
Saturday
leave the meeting
because I have a class of something from 4.
At 5 o'clock, we discussed that already. Remember, we're going to hold the debate earlier in the day.
Are you gonna take a nap now? You're quite yawning.
Most likely. I am most likely going to go take a nap.
Well,
But I'll see you guys on
you're
Wednesday.
yawning quite like that.
Yeah, that tends to happen when I don't breathe properly when I speak. So I keep getting full of carbon dioxide, so I have to yawn it all out. At least that's what I'm led to believe. All right, I'll see you guys later. You can stay in here.
Bye bye.
Lucia, you haven't turned